What's happening, solutionaries? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast today. And we are excited to have some fun with you. And we have a really serious solutionary that's up in the room, in the cafe today. And we can't wait to jump inside of her studio. But you gotta help us out, everybody. And
you know the deal.
Tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal.
And
share. Let's go. Get it out there. Woo! Man, I'm super excited, Lou. I am excited about this show. This is somebody that we have been excited to do this five-liner with. We had a chance to have this solutionary while we were at NADA at the Poly booth. We got a chance to do a short interview with her. She came in with so much energy. She even danced with us on the stage. I was so pumped up about what she was doing, about what she's about. She's all about her kids. She loves skiing. There's so many cool things about this. I'm telling you right now, Jen, I spilt the beans, is going to come in here and she's going to drop some amazing things, Lou. I cannot wait to introduce her and get her on the screen and just share some great stories.
Well, let's go ahead and get ready to get this five-liner underway. For those of you that are ready to brew with some serious solutionary serum, get yourself excited. Get your cups ready to brew because this is going to be a fun episode for you. There are so many great solutionaries that are making things happen inside of the industry, and we want to make sure that we get the buzz out there a little bit more. Just add a little bit more inside of your cup about what it is that Jennifer is cooking for everybody. But you all have to get your friends involved in here. So keep sharing that around. We see some of those shares going out there. Keep that moving around social media land because we really are about to have a really fun time. If you did not get the chance to see the episode that we had with Jennifer at NADA, and it was live and it was so much fun, so much packed energy. But you can go to YouTube and check it out. You can check out any of our social channels and see that episode as it unfolded before those right there moving all around that entire conference. But today we're not at a conference right now. Fred's in Illinois. I'm over here in the studio. She's inside of her studio, and we are multiplying the efforts that we can use with social media to get a good conversation cultivated. So let's get this started because we really want to hear a whole lot from this five-liner that she's got going today. And we want to welcome in the one, the only Jennifer Suzuki. Welcome.
You guys have the best energy. Thank you.
Well, it's easy to bring energy to somebody that already has it. You know, when it's two frequencies that are together, it makes it even stronger. We could punch through walls together. I can tell you, I'm excited to have you here. You've been an example for so many car people in the world. You've been training so many different dealerships. You've been speaking at so many different events that your knowledge and your experience is so needed in this industry today to be able to get us keep moving forward. So I can't wait to hear your story. What brought you into this industry? Why you do what you do? All these amazing things. Let's bring it today with Jen Suzuki. I'm pumped up.
I'll tell you anything. You just ask.
You will, and I know that. So this is going to be a lot of fun, Lou. I know Lou's excited. I'm excited. I wish I was at the studio right now because there's something special about Lou and I being there together. But having this opportunity, I couldn't say, let's wait till next year. I had to do it this year. I was like, we're still doing the interview. We're going to still make this happen. So I'm here in my hotel room just waiting for this moment. So I'm pumped up about this. Can't wait to do the five-liner. But, Jen, before we do the five-liner, we always drop F-bombs.
You already know about those F-bombs that we drop. And that's making sure that we do forgive, we focus, and we fly so that we can keep growing. You have already leaned into the solutionary handshake that is trying. We are doing our absolute best to try to make waves inside of the industry with this mantra being what it is that people walk away with, and is also a little bit of dance moves and grooves that go to this. Okay?
That's right.
With that said, we got to do what we got to do and keep this shared around the right way, trying to make sure that everybody out here gets to see it. Keep sharing it, car guys and car gals. Adjust your privacies and whatnots. Make sure that people can see what is cooking in this cafe because we're about to forgive, focus, fly with Jennifer Suzuki on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Y'all get ready. You remember the movements? Do you remember the moves?
No,
you don't remember the movements? Okay, because you got to practice. See, folks, that's why you can't do it just once. You can't just practice a line once. You can't practice a move once. You got to do it over and over.
That's right.
Just show me one more time.
Memory. It goes like this. Wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. focus on who it is that we can help and where we're going, and stretch out and fly so that we can keep growing. Ready to rock it now?
I'm ready.
Here we
Let's do
go.
this.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Forgive,
Give,
focus, fly,
fly, and keep growing.
Keep growing. There we go, everybody. Excited to get that rocking. Now we're ready for the show. Let's get this 5-liner underway. And everybody, you know the recipe for these 5-liners, okay? We're finding out some key pieces about the individual behind what's cooking inside of great, great companies. And we are excited to get this underway. Fred, let's kick this off.
Wow. Well, I'm excited. There's so many things that I'm just curious to learn about, and the very first question is a great way to understand who you are and what drives you and what gets you doing what you're doing, right? Your why. Simon Sinek says it all starts with the why. It all begins with the why. So what is your why? What drives you every single day to say, you know what, I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to crush this year. I'm going to go out. And not only am I going to do it for myself, but I'm going to do it for so many others. Yeah. What drives you?
It's people. I love people. I believe in people. I have a passion to serve people and to help other people move up. I can do my part in contributing to people's success, their career path, their growth. And as you mentioned, I've been around for a long time, so I've seen a lot of things. And this is why I like to share as much as I can with as many people that'll listen. Because look, there's a lot of techniques to get to the same end game, but everybody needs help. We can't do these things all by ourselves. If we really want to hit like the ultimate levels, we need each other.
So true. So true. Wow. Listen to that, folks. What a why. And the people, right? For the most part, when people are coming together to make things happen for an industry like you are, you have to have a passion for the people, right? I mean, goodness, making sure that you are consistently cultivating a solution for the industry, for those that are trusting you, right, with a direction for their goals. And I'm sure that that's got to have some incredible rewards, which we will get back to. But
the thing is that even in my own success and my own come up, and believe me, I've got further, but many big places to go. I've always needed somebody to help me get to that next level. And for me, I think each of us can contribute to each other because we all have different paths. We all have learned different things. We can all contribute to somebody else's success, and people need people. So I think all of us, that's the common thread, isn't it? Because to get on a plane every week, and you guys are the hardest working guys I have literally ever seen. I'm not kidding you. Now, I don't post as much as you guys do, but I get on a plane every week too, and I see a lot of people, and it's a commitment. It's a lot of sacrifices, and it's not just sacrifices in your hobbies or your friendships or your family. It's just time. And you have to really love what you do and what you bring to the table to be able to do it day in and day out. And it's not even just the travels, it's the time. When I wake up in the morning, all I want to do is fly. All I want to do is get in the game and continue to support career paths, growth, people. I'm constantly putting together curriculum, and when you stand in stores like you guys are, you see everything that's evolving, so you learn so much, you see so much, you go to so many different stores and you see so many different systems and tools and processes and all that. It's like, oh my God, don't you just want to just get in there and just share it with somebody, tell somebody? Because there's, as I mentioned, a lot of different ways to get to the same end game.
Oh,
yes.
So true.
Put the cards in the deck is what I say.
I love that, and that's the mentality to have. And you're right. I appreciate you for shouting out that we work so hard, but it's just like you, it's for the people. And if it wasn't about the people, I wouldn't work this hard. Is the money there? Yeah, there's money out there, but it's not about the money. To me, it's the influence, it's the shift, it's the legacy that I get a chance to leave on this planet, and the opportunities that I get to see. I love one of my favorite things in being in this industry for a couple decades now, and being able to see the people that I've been able to coach, mentor, love on, even peers, watch them buy their first homes, watch them go out and start families, right?
Yes.
Watch them go out and do things, go on vacations to places that they never dreamed of going.
Yeah.
And because of this industry, but mostly, it's because of the work they put in, and you just show them. And we are an example of what hard work looks like. And you're definitely a shining light of that. And that's something that I definitely admire about you, and something that made me notice you from the first time I ever saw what you were doing. And first of all, you see what you're doing, and then you read your resume and your mind just goes, whoa. Holy smokes. Jen is phenomenal, beyond her charismatic personality, beyond the easiness of being able to speak to her. She has a lot of experience that's beyond most of us. Some of us will never be able to experience the things that she's experienced and being able to share, and the business that you've started, and how successful you've been with that. So having that why, being able to find that purpose, knowing it's for the people, that's ultimate. Because if you have that, then everything will be okay. Even those days when you have to get up, you don't want to do it, you still want to fly, because people are looking at you and they're like, hey, I need you to lead. How do I do what I need to do? Well, just work hard, put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to make it happen. So that's an amazing answer. Yeah. People over everything. That's amazing.
People over everything.
So true.
For sure.
Right. We champion the saying that we put relationship over revenue. We put people over profits. And as we focus on things like that, we do things like forgive, focusing, and flying, because when you're dealing with people, you often have the opportunity to find forgiveness. You often find the opportunity to find some of your shortcomings, right? To find out where it is that you can grow and how you can go. And then I love it that you're saying that I want to get up and I want to fly every single day. I've got to go do that. And that's really the end game, is for us to be able to let go of the limitations and cruise over the mountains inside of our lives. And for you, though, as you've been flying and you've been doing your thing career-wise, even up until now, what many people may not know, you may have put it out there somewhere, but for our audience, what they often find out on this five-liner is what it is that brought you to automotive. So Jennifer, what is it that brought you to automotive?
I needed the money.
That's what Lundy said. Heck yeah.
I needed the money. Yeah. Now, what had happened was, I found weed.
Yep.
I found some weed in high school. I got high. I forgot all about studying and what grades were supposed to be for, which was to get you to that next level, was to get you into college. And, I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I guess I was really confident, thinking, I'll make it. But I didn't. And so here I am out of high school. I don't have a job. I got declined every school I applied for. And I had nowhere to go. And I didn't have a family that was going to just shoot me over some cash. I didn't have a house. They weren't there. I didn't have a car. And I had probably 30 days before I was legit homeless. And I went to this dealership. It was a big store. I had no idea. And I really don't know how I got this great idea to go to this dealership. But let me tell you, out of all the declines, I finally got accepted. And I was in hustle, survivor mode. And I'm one of 40 dudes in a Toyota store. It wasn't like somebody just was like, yeah, this is how you do it, Jen. They were out for themselves. And I just had to find a way. This draws back and circles back to our earlier conversation. My passion comes from part of this, being so hungry and scared, and no one in my court, no one giving me tools. It was just figure that shit out.
Yeah.
And it was for me very serious, because I had nowhere to live. So I had to make it. So I had to figure out something that they weren't doing. And there's 40 dudes and me, and I can tell you, I started working the phones. And my boss was he was like, look, you can take the calls. They all wanted to work the lot. So I'm like, all right, yeah, how hard could that be? And it turns out it wasn't that hard, because nobody else was fighting for the phones.
That's right.
It wasn't what I said. I had no process. It was that I had very little competition. Now, out on the lot, it was too much competition. It was hard. It was tough to survive. So I had to pick. I just weaved my way into something that I could get good at. And it wasn't like I was great right away, but this is how I brought in my business. And so anyways, that's kind of long-winded, but that's how I got into the car dealerships. I've never left, by the way. And and I worked on car sales for many, many years, and I worked my way up through the dealerships. How did I get into training? I mean, I can tell you the moment that happened. I had worked my way up into a corporate position, and I was building internet sales teams for a very large private group. And it was a big job for a young girl. And I just would take anything they would give me. I didn't care. They were like, develop websites. Okay, I'll figure it out. Internet marketing. Yep. Send them my way. I will buy ads. Lead gen. We didn't have CRMs then. It was just they kept throwing stuff because it was an older, corporate team, and I'm young blood, and they just thought, she knows, she'll figure it out. And soon enough, I was building sales teams, 28 stores, and I learned a lot. I worked every day, and then I started figuring out how to work internet leads and stuff like this, and which became a hybrid of what I'd already learned, what I was already good at, which is the phones. And then it just sort of went off from there. I came up with sales processes, to work internet leads. And once I left that role, I was the pioneer of internet sales training. I was the first company that started internet sales training for the auto business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a story. Come on now.
Yeah.
I love every bit of that story. You mentioned in the middle of it, I'm long-winded. No, you're not long-winded. Keep it coming.
Come on. Keep it coming. Let's go.
That we want to
card
hear,
out.
Like it's phenomenal. And I love that, a lot of that opportunity where you saw like, okay, I got a crowded floor out here. This lot, if I want to catch lot ups, I'm going to have a little bit of competition.
A lot.
But if they're going to give me every phone call, now I can weed through every one of these. I can cherry pick if I want to, and I can also get better and try to do things that I've never done before. And next thing you know, you're super successful. You're growing. Now, then you're teaching people. I mean, educating and doing things that are amazing. Just like you said, you came in and you were just thrown to the wolves. Like, hey, sink or swim, my friend. Good luck, right?
There's a lot of beat downs. I still get beat down.
Well, being a pioneer, you're going to. I mean, being the first.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're getting your ass beat every day.
Hey, that's true.
So that foundation of, do you think they thought I was going to make it? I can tell you this. They did not think I was going to make it. I mean, it was boom, boom, boom. I cried every day in that first job. And I worked bell to bell, and I never took a day off. But, it's those skills that become your foundation. And you have to be strong in this business. It's not an easy business. It's been the people that got into this business selling cars in the last 2 years. I wish I'd have jumped in at that time.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're back.
What a market,
by the way. We back.
Come on. That's right. That's right.
Pre-COVID times now.
That's right.
That's right. We back, baby.
Back on. Right. But it doesn't matter who you are in your role in the store. This is a cutthroat business.
Yes.
And there's nothing easy about it. Regardless of how successful you are, no matter how many or how little customers you have, you're still trying to maintain. You're trying to stay relevant, and you got to make your money. And it's not like inflation doesn't exist. You got to make more.
Come on. You have to keep growing.
And look, if you're not sharpening that knife literally every day, you have to put the ego aside. And I think for me, that was a big next level for me, because you can imagine when I'm like making money, I'm young, I live in Miami, I am clubbing hard. Your head's big, and that limits your growth. And I did realize that down the road. But again, all of those things start to build your character and your strength and show you what you are capable of.
Amen.
Which is anything.
Yes. And I'm a firm believer, one, in the word, but that all things work together for the good. So even inside of those opportunities where you found yourself maybe clubbing more because you're in celebration mode, you're young, you're dumb, we've been there, we've done that, right? Right? It gets so interesting to be able to say, what would I have done had I've known to do what I know to do now back then? Well, at the same time, knowing what it is that you know now and seeing back then what it was you were doing is only helping you be better at it. And at the same time, mentor those other people you get the opportunity to be in front of, right? And say, I've been there, I did it, I messed it up, and I built it back.
Yeah.
Especially being a lady on the sales floor with 40 guys.
That was just one job, that was many moons away ago. But look, you're always going to have competition, and you can see your colleagues as competition, or you can see them as support.
Yes. Come on.
Because even your best guy, has so much to give, if you look for it, if you want it.
That's right.
People are willing, for the most part, people are willing to help other people. You just have to put the guard down, put the ego aside, and ask. And it is truly how I continue to accelerate in my own career path. I will ask for help.
That's so good. That's so good.
That is probably the best tip that someone can give you. And that's something I would tell everyone too. I appreciate you for saying that, Jen, because that is powerful. It is the ego. And like you said earlier, and we're young. I know I had the same experience, got in the industry, made more money than I ever could. My head got this big. Like, hey, no one could outclose me. I'm the best closer in the world. Come on, bring this and that. And did it stunt my growth? It did. I had about a 2-3 years where I kind of I may have gone down a little bit. Who knows, right?
Probably.
Maybe I was making money, but I wasn't growing. And I wasn't really mentoring the way I should have been. I could have coached others or whatever, right? But I learned and I figured out I need to humble myself like quick, right? And I need to really keep educating on a daily and keep getting better. And I love what you said there. I mean, that's powerful stuff. And I think a lot of people are feeling that.
Stay hungry. That's what I tell myself every day.
That's right.
That's it.
Humble and hungry. Amen, everybody. Please
we got Jackie Grillo Noto over here dropping some great stuff. She's
Jackie
loving, her first thing she said, she goes, love hearing your story. Get it, right? And then she said, but you had fun and you learned, right? And then she says, show these kids now how to get there quicker. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're showing you, we're at least attempting to give you guys knowledge enough to where you don't have to make the same mistakes as us.
Exactly.
Right?
No. The thing is that this business, the car business, is so wonderful. It's so fruitful. It's,
amen.
people are running around with student loans. And I'm not poo-pooing on college. I am a supporter of any education opportunity you can grasp. But those loans are real. And I had them. I did go to school down the road. And I had them, and I paid my way. I can tell you, you can join the car business, and you could have very little skills. And if you pay attention, and you ask for help, and you seek additional help, not just from your immediate surroundings, you want more. You find it. That we live in a world now where I feel like you could get a college education based on your searches on YouTube.
YouTube University, baby.
YouTube
That's
University. Right. All that stuff's at your fingertips now. So it's really up to you to choose your own destiny. And all of us, you and me, I'm publishing everything people pay me for every single day on my podcast, in my posts, anything. If I have something, I will give it to you. Because that's what I can contribute to this time in this world, is to help other people get to a place where they can take care of themselves. They can have a nice living, a nice home, many cars, have things for your children, leave a legacy. It's all right here at your fingertips. I know GMs, I know owners that have invested less than 10 years in the business, started off in sales, moved their way up to GM, bought a store in less than a decade. That's this business with no college degree.
None. So and you don't have to have a Papa had a dealership either. You can get in here, just work hard and be somebody that looks to do the extra, and not because you're supposed to, but because you want to, right? And I love this. You talked about a lot of great things here. We've talked about your why. We've talked about what got you in this industry. We talked about helping others. Speaking of helping others, we have all had mentors. I know I've had some mentors along the way that I've leaned into. Sometimes they're people I've never even met. Just I've followed them, read their books, and it coached me enough to grow, right? Who are some of those people for you?
Oh, gosh, it's so many.
I bet.
It just comes to my mind right now, and I don't even know if I've even told anybody this before. This isn't like something that I would just say, but it's the facts. At first, it started off for me of just observing people that seem to be getting it right, watching other people. Though they became mentors. What I liked, what I didn't like, what gelled, what didn't gel. I scooped up, and it became part of my selling strategies. In time over life, and this is the part that I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I had a boyfriend in the height of my career. As I've moved up the ranks, and now I'm in a corporate position. I'm very young. I'm in a very serious position. And he's already well established in the business. And his father is an executive. He's a dealer. He went on to be a corporate leader in Ford. And these two guys were my heroes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they invested in me. It doesn't matter what I needed, and I needed a lot. Even just negotiating my pay plan. You think I know how to negotiate my pay plan? I'm a young woman, and I've only been in dealerships, and now I'm an executive level, and I don't know what that's worth. But they got me to new places. They certainly helped me with my own income potential and possibilities. They coached me. They supported me, and that's all I ever needed was just one person to be there that believed in me. And it was always like that. And then when it wasn't them, it became somebody else. Actually, I had this other great boyfriend. Oh my gosh. I've had two solid boyfriends in my life. These two were paramount to my future. And this guy, he was an attorney. He was a multimillionaire by 32. He was a hustler. This guy put himself through college, law school. I think he was selling drugs. I think he made a lot of money selling drugs. But then he became an attorney.
Good switch. Good pivot right there, right?
Yeah, he was a hustler. And, it was in my life at this moment that was so shaping. I just needed like that next level. He wasn't from the car business, but he was an entrepreneur. And this is when I started my own company. And it was because of him who believed. It was one person. And again, I follow that theory throughout my entire life. You only need one person who just believes, supports you, and is behind you all the way. To just lift you up when you need it.
That's right. Those moments when you don't know, like when you don't know if you have enough confidence, they just say one thing, you got this. And you're like, I can do it. It makes me think about my son and, those moments where he doesn't want to, when he was a little kid, like going down a slide for the first time, you're like, oh, it's going to be okay. I don't want to, I'm scared. And then you say, listen, I promise you it's going to be okay. And then they do it. And then it's always okay. Right. And sometimes that's what we need. We all need that. We're human beings. And it's scary when you're going to the unknown and you've never seen it. It's scary. But when you have a few experiences, when you do it a few times and you realize it's not as scary as you thought, and then success happens, right? Yeah. It becomes bigger. And that's when it's your turn to return the favor to others and pass it down like you have been, right? Say, hey, listen, you need to do the same thing. This is what I did, and this is what I think this kind of the theme of the show today has been about that. We started off with people on the why, and it really is. And it keeps turning back to that, and I love that. We are people, right? And we need to stay that way. And this industry, as digital as it's become, it's still a people business. And I think that's why we're seeing why Carvana is not having the success that they thought they were going to have. They had success and they showed us some things. They did. But it's still a people business. People, after they buy a car, need somebody to talk to. There's going to be issues with these vehicles. There's still going to be these things. So we still have to have a people business. We still have to be able to talk to them and let them feel comforted. No different than we do with our mentors, no different than we do as a mentor to others. Agreed. Is that we need the comforting every once in a while because we're human beings. And there's something great about somebody patting you back saying it's going to be okay.
Well, even into this day, I have new mentors now. And along the way, I've learned to seek people that are far better than me, that have been through the trenches, who have fought the fight, who continue to fight the fight. But these are people that I am more aligned with because they are willing to do the work. They're willing to hustle hard no matter how many millions of dollars they have. They're real people, and I tend to, gravitate towards that. But there's a lot of great dealers out there that are my mentors. People that love people like me, that invest in people, but have amassed a level of success that I still am striving for, that I'm working for. And having people that are far, far more successful than me has become my next level in my more recent years, and especially my relationship with mentorship.
Come on. There is so much that could be said about the dealers that are out there, their tenacity and their stick-to-itiveness, right, that they have to making sure that they see through what it is that they've done. And they take a lot of risk. Folks,
A lot.
the reason we love dealers so much is because we see their heart, right, for their people, for their community, for their craft, their employees. Goodness, there's so much of a weight that's on their shoulders. And though it may look from afar like it's something easy to accomplish, there's no easy road in this business. Like Jennifer was saying, everybody, there isn't
work for it.
There isn't a way to see success without finding yourself in the work. And when you do submerge yourself inside of the work, you eventually find yourself coming up, treading water, and floating to a point where you become a raft for others to ride their way to the next side of the mission that they're on in life. And for the people that found you and said, I see something in you, I believe in you, right? And I want to be able to see you go to the next level. They spoke it until you believed it. And maybe you even stepped out in faith in ways that you didn't even believe it in yourself yet until you saw it come to fruition. You just had enough, we'll just say cojones, right? To get out there and get to work on it, right? Just to go for it, right? You just didn't care and you went for it. But at the same time, you had a drip of success coming in life that was helping you start to see that there's more. Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. And you know what? I can't be closed to learning anymore, right? It's so hard for you to get light in if you're closed up. As a matter of fact, it just can't get in there. And you started to allow people to pour into you. And each of those relationships, this is why we love the relationships that we get with our dealers, because we see a different side of growth that we didn't get the chance to see before. We see another level of experience that's like, whoa, that's mind-boggling. Great. And we're honored to be able to team up with you to going to the next level for where it is that you want to go. But with that, there are lots of scars, right? And you've met plenty of dealers, plenty of people in this business that are all kinds of scarred up and operate the way that they do because of the scars that we get, because of the hits on the chin, because of the bruises we get. But for you, what has been one of the hardest lessons you've had to learn getting to where it is that you are today?
There's so many lessons, life is hard. I always tell my kids this. Look, life is hard.
Amen. Truth.
But you got the fight on, and you have to find, something that brings you peace and happiness. And there's a lot of beat downs, So for me, there's been every beat down that shocked the system. Okay, look, no, that's not a beat down.
Right.
Okay, right. That's like an appetizer.
Come on. Go on.
No, it's when they really F you up, they try to get in your head, it could be a business deal. It could be a partnership. It could be anything. It's just people beat you down. I've let people get to me where it just wins you. It wins you. It makes you step back and look at life, and you're like, damn, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. It starts to question, your character. I don't know, but maybe character was not the right one, but just question your abilities. That's been a very difficult lesson for me in my more recent years is that, look, stay true to yourself. Your mentality is everything. And when people try to whip you, you have to see what you're capable of. And if that starts to ignite fire and it gets you to your next level, which it has for me, you can look back on it and say, damn, I am so glad that happened to me. And in fact, of all the beatdowns, the challenges, the life lessons in my entire journey in life, I can tell you there ain't one regret.
Come on. Come on.
Every single one of those bust me up, has meant something for me. And it always is a lesson to be learned. And it isn't to mean, it isn't about changing. It does change you, I think, in some ways, every hard lesson, but it's what you do with it.
Come on.
It must get you to your next level. And the pain really truly is the gain. And if you don't experience pain while you're in your career path, you are steady. You're steady. You're just, okay, yeah, I'm just right here. Everything's good. I'm happy with this. This feels nice. This is so comfortable. But when you're uncomfortable and you're rocked and things don't always go the way, no matter how good you are, you're not learning. You're not learning something. It is so hard to achieve what you're fully capable of.
Come on with it. That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
Wow.
What's up, Joe?
People are going to beat you down all the time, in some way. Whether it's, I hear no's all day long, or it's somebody that wants to get rid of you, who knows? But it's kind of exciting when you get shook. And I'm like, come on, bring it.
Come on.
Joe saying she's bringing the heat, right?
Yes,
Not only is she bringing the heat, but she wants you to bring the heat to her. Because she tell you what, I'm going to say something like, for real, like you're that type of person. You're like, bring me a challenge. Listen, if I can't do it, I can't do it, but I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to tell you I can't. I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to make it happen. And if I don't, I'm going to figure out how to make it happen the second time around. Because if I mess it up,
my best.
I promise you I won't do it again on the second one, right? And that's something that's special about you, about a lot of people on this planet, and I think each one of us who's watching this show now, people who are, even if you failed a million times in your life, my friends, you can still do it today. You can still go out. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how much education you have. None of that matters. Let the heat come to you. And when it comes to you, have opportunity to grow. Look at it as a chance to be better than you were yesterday, and you will explode in life. That's where you think that Jen is grown to where she's at because she got the easy path? Hell no. It took a lot of things. It took coming on a floor with 40 dudes with a floor that's packed with all these veterans for her to get
the foundation.
That's right, to get the phone leads and then learn from that, and didn't get taught how to use the phones, just figured it out, right? And then it's one thing after another. There was one hill, one obstacle, one wall, another one to just keep running into.
Frankly,
guess what?
That never changes.
It doesn't, and it won't. But that's what we welcome
You
it
want
now.
more?
That's it. Keep it coming. Just when you think that it's slowing down, just wait a minute, right? And that's all you have to do, and get after it, my friends. But life is not fun living in the comfort zone. Life is super boring, and you don't get the results that you want. The legacy that you want to leave on this planet will not happen if you're doing it comfortably. You have to be out there being uncomfortable. You have to reach out, talk to people. You have to make mistakes, maybe twice, right? But you have to keep going. You have to keep trying things that you've never tried before. Being unique and having fun doing it. I love this. Bringing fire is what they're saying. I love it, right? Thank you, Ron, for being here today. But Jen, no, you're a phenomenal person, and you're so right on the money there. And I think that people need to hear these things. Each one of y'all have that inside you, but you have to light that fire. No one else is going to light it for you. They might come over there and give you a spark, but you have to literally hold that fire. You have to be that one. So get out there and get after it, and that's special. So when we learn these lessons, we've talked about your why today. We've talked about what brought you in the industry, and I so loved hearing that story. Money, right? I think a lot of us, that's what I saw the same thing. I saw an advertisement that showed a certain amount of money, and I was like, yes, I want to make that kind of money.
Go for that.
right? I'm going to go after it, right? So yes, that is a great reason to get in, right? And then you told us the story is so deep. You told us about mentors and boyfriends along the way that have been phenomenal people. You've been blessed, right? But you also look for the blessings in life. You don't just wait for the blessings. And that's the key. Faith without works is dead. You got to get after it. You've learned lessons. You know what it's like to go through the fire and bring on the pain and have to get through it. But at the end of it all, we all have rewards.
Yes.
We've worked really hard, and I know it's not the end. This is just the beginning for you still. There's so much more that you're going to give to this, not just this industry, to the world, right? And I love that. But that being said, what has been your greatest reward for all the hard work that you've done up to this point?
Freedom of my
Woo!
time. Yeah. Let me tell you, I got 3 little girls, and all my experiences, every smackdown, everything I just shared with you, my girls watch. I put them in the lion's den every day. As soon as I pick up from school, they're in the lion's den. I'm on calls. I want them to see what the real world is like. I want them to be successful. Of course, I want the same thing I want for everybody. Learn from my lessons. So if you can learn something from day-to-day activity with them watching me, I hope they'll become the best people. Support other people to whatever path they decide to take. But to have the flexibility and the time to be like, you know what, I'm volunteering at the school today. Their preschool years was my best years. I love arts and crafts. I'm very good at crafting. And, those preschool teachers, they have a place in my heart. They always let me come into the classroom. I would stay up all night carving out Santa Claus faces and painting and gluing to share this time with them, and those are some of my most memorable times as a mom, and being a part of their school, and just having the flexibility to be like, you know what, I'm not doing this trip. I'm going to my kids' school. I'm gonna take them out on the mountain. We're big skiers, live in Colorado. I brought them out here from South Florida, to grow up on the mountains and to have a hobby. And for me to have that time with my girls on the hill, working on skills together, that family time, it's everything.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that you brought that up.
I'm sorry. It's not just my family, but it's, I have other family, which are my dearest friends, my bestest of friends. To be able to share time with them and their families, that means everything to me. And the clients I have, to be able to go to a dinner and just get to know people more. That time is something I have control over.
But that's because you put the work into getting that control of that time, right? You've made the investment inside of the time that you had in your earlier years, inside of the time that you were on the lot, the opportunity that you had on the phones, right? Each opportunity with a customer, right? You earned that. You sowed those seeds that are now letting you reap the control of what you do with your time. You heard her, everybody. You heard her saying, right? She was at the dealership bell to bell each and every day. Now, so that when it's time to be with the PTA, she can be there, right? She can be making the craft. She can do her thing. And that's a great, great reward, because we're not getting this time back with our kids, car guys and car gals. So often we've seen our children and our time with them sacrificed on the altar of hitting the next goal, hitting the next opportunity, hitting the next car deal. Instead, we're now getting the chance to see car guys and car gals and owners and dealers and salespeople get to have those experiences with their families in new ways. And that's so important. Rewarding to see happening in the industry. Goodness, how old are the girls?
My oldest is 10. My twins are 9. It's like triplets.
It is like triplets.
That is like triplets.
That's amazing, and I hear everything you just said there, and like Lou said, it's something that we all have to earn at some point. We do have to put the work in at the beginning. You're going to have to learn that. It's just like anything that we do in life, any new job. When you start at the bottom, you got to rise to the top. And as you build that confidence, you build that opportunity, you're going to have time. You work for that time, right? And it's powerful. Time is important to me too. That's like, to me, one of the biggest things. You know, Lou and I both have kids that are all grown.
And
right?
the cutest kids. You guys have very good-looking families.
And I got a grandchild now. I got a grandchild.
I saw that. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. And you do too. You have a beautiful family. I know how much you share, because the last time that I saw you at NADA, you mentioned going skiing with them and how much fun it was, right? And that's like a big deal to you. And I think that's phenomenal that you and your kids get to do that and learn a skill. I mean, and something that's valuable, something that's fun and great. Oh, it is. It's very hard, but it's so beautiful and so fun. And when you get good at it, it's amazing, right?
It's nice to have a sport that that they want to share time with you doing, because down the road they will be teens and they will not want to hang out with me, but they will want to hang out with me on the mountain. You know what?
They want to go skiing. That's right.
And I'm still sharpening the knife over here. Okay.
Yeah, and you got skills, right? You're like, Mama could still show you a few things. Let's go, right?
I'm still trying to learn new skills every year. Last year, that got me a concussion.
Ooh, man.
Those can happen, you know, but those come with learning, and that's another one of those lessons. You know, you go through that, and then you have to figure out how to get through that in life too. And I think that something like that can happen to all of us. We can have a concussion from walking down the street. My son got a massive concussion, some brain contusions about a year ago from jumping on boxes, doing box jumps, right? Fell back and hit his head. So could it happen anytime? Yeah. Why not do it on the slope, right? Have fun while you're doing it.
Well, at least have fun, whatever it is. Yes.
Right. You gotta make it a good time. But the thing is that the even a concussion industry, there's some things that only time is going to be able to heal, and allowing yourself to be able to be healed in those times where you do get injured, you do get concussed, right? Maybe you have to dim the lights down just a little bit so that you can heal properly and come back even better. But it makes you more aware. This is why these 5-liners are so important, because yes, we want to hear what it is that you're passionate about, who it is that you're passionate about, who you're hearing from, who's pouring into your cup, but also learning some of those lessons. Sometimes we get a little concussed, sometimes we get some lumps on the dome, and we have to be able to learn how to adjust and make progress even inside of those healing times, so that when you're in the situation that you are right now, with 3 young ladies that are watching their mom dominate the industry as a pioneer, they get to then invest their faith into saying, there are no limitations that I have. Even if I get hurt, I can accomplish anything, whether it's the auto industry or anything.
I know you feel the same way. And I tell myself this, and I tell my girls this, and I tell people this, especially in like really hard, trying times where you're just like talking yourself through it. You know, I say this, you can do hard things. You've done hard things. You conquered the hard things.
Come on.
You can do hard things, you know? Yeah.
That's so true.
Bingo.
You can do hard things. You know?
I love it.
And it feels so good when you break through. You're like, oh my God.
Got that.
Still got it.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, it does feel that way, you know. And to speak on that point, you know, like just for a quick touch is, when our children, when people that we are when we are mentors to people, they see us put that work in, they see us do all this extra stuff. All it does is just sit inside them, let them know my parents have all this because they work hard. It's not because they got lucky. It's not because they don't, they actually have passion for what they do and they work hard. And that's something that we need to make sure that we show our children, our mentorees and everything else. I am a big advocate of this. Like I tell this to most salespeople when they're like, I don't, you know, sometimes I have nothing to do. I said, well, imagine your kid, you have a child, they're sitting next to you, you're at work. Right now, after today, would your child think that you're lazy? Or would your child think that, man, my father or my mother works extremely hard? And if you can't answer the second part, that's not your answer, and it's the I'm lazy, then you need to work a little harder throughout the day. You can do more. And that's the thing. A lot of salespeople, and you salespeople out there, you know what I'm talking about. I was on the floor. I know I had a lot of extra time throughout the day. Don't waste that time. Use that time to be creative. Use that time to have fun. Even if it's just calling your family and telling them you love them. Those are meaningful conversations. You never know what those turn into. Your family will need a car one day. Whatever it is, do something throughout the day that is not just sitting there looking at your phone playing whatever game you're playing, Candy Crush. Doesn't matter. Stop doing that. Get out there and do more, learn more. If you're going to be on your phone, read a book. If you're going to be doing this, do something, grow, get educated. And I promise you, it'll make it, that small investment, the dividends behind that, how much money you can make because of that, and how much your mind will grow.
Yeah.
Lights out. It'll change your life, but you got to do it every day. You can't sit there and be lazy. Can you have a lazy day? Sure. But don't do it every day. You can't do it every day. You cannot do it every day.
So true. So
hey,
true.
you know, on that same lines, one thing that I got hip to, and it must have been a TikTok I saw because I was, scrolling down that rabbit hole.
Been there, done that.
But I actually learned a lot of things on TikTok. I would say probably TikTok. Could TikTok be a mentor? I find a lot of really good. That's how I learn new stuff now. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to tell you.
That's a whole other show. We'll have you on later for that.
Okay. But actually, I did learn this thing on TikTok, and it was like, get rid of all the junk, on your feed. So only like and only follow the things that will build your career path. So that way, when you're scrolling, you're not looking at junk. Now,
yes.
Is dancing junk? I don't know. I love dancing on TikTok.
Come on.
Me too. I do too. I get inspired by it.
Yeah,
right,
I get so inspired, yeah. And I love snowboarding tricks. I follow all that. But, I love financial advice and I love parenting advice. And those are all things I started putting on my feed. So now, and sometimes I'm not going to lie to you, I'm like, oh, next. This stuff is too smart. Where's all the good stuff? But I did change my feeds in a significant way, which is, it's changed my mentality. I didn't. I'm in the rabbit hole. I'm not gonna lie. I love all that. But there's also some smarty stuff in there for the big brains.
There is. It truly is. But I could challenge everyone who's watching this. Go to your feed. This will tell you what you're about. If you're growing right now, you're going to see a lot of growing stuff. It's okay to have some of that fun stuff in there too, the dancing. And I trust me, I get into that rabbit hole. But there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of great educational stuff in there, like how to invest your money a little bit more, how to, what great books are there? There's so many things. Snowboarding, if you want to learn a new skill, play guitar, learn how to even sing correctly. They can even teach you how to sing on those things. I mean, there's so much. So get into there, get involved, but use these tools, use our social media as a tool for growth. You can use it as a tool for wasting time. But
to see this.
Yes, amen.
Yeah, because they're gonna grow up, and that stuff's a killer, literally. Yeah. And there's some good stuff in there. Yeah,
there is.
So true. And inside of that, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the things that are increasing you. And our kids are watching. The kids are watching.
Okay, that's next on ADA.
It is. Yeah, we're gonna break one down there.
Shot for that one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, goodness. My goodness. Well, this has been an incredible time, Solutionaries. Thank you so much, everybody that's been listening on the live.
What a great show.
Everybody that's been watching live, everybody that's watching on the replay. If you received any value from this piece of content that we are sprinkling out there inside of social media land, make sure that you blow up Jen and tell her that you appreciate her contribution, not just to the show today, but what she's bringing to automotive. Because for the most part, if we're inside of your feed, Solutionaries, you are looking for solutions. You are looking for ways to get better in the craft that we are honored to be able to be growing in together. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for supporting the show. You can go to Car Guy Coffee to get more great information, great time with some great Solutionaries. But what's going on, Matt Damos? Welcome to the party. But there is so much more that you can get in by just reaching out and talking to the great people in this industry about what made them great. And this show has not disappointed today in making sure that we do pull out some of the great stuff that is brewing with Jennifer inside of the automotive today. Jennifer, do you have any last words before we get ready to forgive, focus, fly, and get out of the cafe today?
Thank you guys for doing stuff like this. I wish I had this when I was coming up, just like, even if you don't have a mentor, you have resources, shows like this, your podcast. I mean, it's you helping other people grow. I thank you guys for investing in other people, for being a part of our next gen in the automotive industry. It's people like you guys.
Next gen with a J?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But folks, I just want to tell all you all out there right now,
That was a
if you
joke.
guys,
That was a
that's
joke.
right. You know, I got some of those sometimes. I got them in my bag. But listen, folks, go to edealersolution.com. Check her out. Check out what her company's all about. I promise you, she can find a solution for you dealers.
Come on.
Right. So anyway, that being said, I love it. Her favorite way to reach out to her on LinkedIn, my friends. That's where I like to be reached out to. This is her LinkedIn profile. This is how you can get there. If you type this in, you'll find it. Follow her. I promise you, she drops great nuggets for you all the time. She will inspire you. She will educate you. And most importantly, she will entertain you. I promise, right? Because she does. She brings fun. She's all about that good time while she's working hard. So whistle while you work, my friends. And I promise you, you'll grow a lot quicker. But I love it. I'm so glad you were here. She is the founder and the president of Dealer Solutions. Come on now, folks. Reach out to her. Let her know how much you love her. Let's go.
And don't forget about the podcast. I'll tell you what,
that's right.
I started this a couple years ago. It's called Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki. And I publish every week. In fact, I'm in the studio right now recording episodes for January. When I see something in the stores, and I'm in service and sales, and I work alongside these teams, I do the work with these teams. They will tell you. I've watched Jen with the customers doing what she preaches. I record everything that people pay me for, and I put it on episodes. So when I see stuff in the stores, service and sales, I go in the studios on the weekends and I record episodes so I can share what I've learned from other people and the techniques that I'm throwing down in the stores that are working. So I hope you guys will tune in to the podcast Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki.
Bingo.
Check that tell you out, one thing, Solutionaries.
Whoa, you already know what that is.
Yeah, we got to make sure that the whole world knows that Jennifer Suzuki is 100% CGC approved. That's right. That's right.
Right, and so is Dealer Talk, my friends. Go reach out to Dealer Talk, watch the show, learn some stuff. And I promise you, you'll feel way better about your life. Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
All right,
so car guys and car gals, thank you so much for tuning in today. Whether, again, you're watching this on the live or you're watching this on the replay, don't let this fade. Take what it is that we poured into your cup today and share it around. Use it and improve with it. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast with the one, the only Jennifer Suzuki. Let's get ready to forgive, focus, fly, and head out. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing. We love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Keep brewing solutions, everybody. We're out.